Hi, guys. Welcome to this episode of the Trainer Feed. We are your hosts. My name is Angel Sanchez. We have David Bravo. David goes, all right. And Jacques Delagere.
How's it going, everybody?
Today we're going to kind of freestyle a little bit. Freestyle Fridays. So David wants to tell us a story about his wisdom tooth. So we'll let David take the floor.
It fucking hurts.
One removed, right? One?
Two.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I got my left side taken out, like the left upper and left lower. It feels fine. It's just achy. Like I've been on Advil for like ever. That's it. It was fine. It was a very easy process. There was no pain while it was happening. I was just like, I was all numbed up and had some of that nitric oxide. Is that how you say it? Nitric oxide? Laughing gas, basically.
They gave you the laughing gas?
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, it took maybe 20 minutes, I think.
David's cracking up before they put it on. Oh, it's so effective. It's like, we haven't put it on yet. I was like, oh, I'm just hilarious.
No.
He just giggles a lot.
We just start
He
laughing.
just laughs all the
Randomly.
time. Mr. Bravo, we didn't reply it yet. You're like, yeah, I know.
It was fine, though. And then, yeah, it's just a little achy. Can't eat whatever I want.
Ice cream, mashed potatoes, soft foods.
Chicken, soft foods. Ice cream.
I know, everyone lights up when you tell them you can eat ice cream. Like, oh no, I can eat ice cream. Like, I should.
Yeah. But it's crazy. I was gonna have soup. Like I texted the doctor. I said, "Hey, can I have soup?" And they were like, "Sure, yeah, have soup." And then I was like, "So I'm gonna have quinoa. I'm gonna have quinoa soup." And they're like, "No, you can't have quinoa soup because the quinoa gets stuck in the wound."
Oh yeah.
I'm like, "Fuck!" Because I made this whole quinoa thing. I'm like, "God damn it!" So yeah, no. But then I ordered chicken, like a roasted chicken, and then like sweet mashed potato. So I had that, and then that's it. Just been eating ice cream, smoothies, mashed potatoes.
You didn't wake up during it though, right?
No, I wasn't out. I was
He got the
awake
laughing gas.
You know, laughing gas. I woke up before they finished. I feel like I told you guys this story.
Yeah, you told us that story.
Everyone told me it was gonna be fine, then I woke up. First of all, the anesthesia was not like the knee surgeries I experienced, where it was count to 10, about 5, you're out, and the next thing you know, you're waking up in the hospital bed, like cracking joke. That's how I remember it. Whereas this is very different. Like, this anesthesia, I could feel it going through like limb by limb. Anesthesia.
No, that's not what he said. But
what did I say?
It goes back to, remember that episode that I was trying to like talk about his accent? If it ends in an A, he has a tendency to make it an er.
So I said anesthesia.
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 Anastasia.
I don't even know what the word is anymore. You know, you say it so many times, you forgot what the word is. But you have
just this one. I'm taking these two out next time.
Savage. So I got all 4 of mine taken out in one sitting. Is that something they shouldn't do?
No, it's just that if you want to take them all out at once, do it. But I just needed to get this one out. This one had to come out. These I don't feel shit. Like doesn't matter. But
now you get holes in the back of your mouth.
Then they gotta fill it up. Well, the wisdom tooth.
No, they don't fill it up.
They don't. Yeah, they don't have to do anything. If it's only if it's like a molar or something like that. One of your other teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm all stitched up. And we'll see. A little throbby.
You're a brave man.
I didn't tell you the story about how I said, I'll make you mashed potatoes, and it was from a sachet.
Oh, I remember that story now. Yeah.
And me and her laughed about it the other day. I said, I thought you were like
mashed potatoes.
I said, that is not my. I was like, damn, she's gonna pick up the potatoes from a farm. She's gonna peel them.
Farm. She's gonna pick them herself.
Boil them, mash them. And I was like, my God, this my girlfriend's like the sweetest woman ever. And then she gets a sachet and pours a bit of water and mixes with a spoon. I was like, what? This is not.
That's how I grew up eating mashed potatoes.
That's not how we grew up in the UK with mashed potatoes.
That's not how I grew up making mashed potatoes.
I grew up just fucking mashed potatoes from a box, man.
Yeah, that's not mashed potatoes, but
humble beginnings.
Yeah, but
that's like Chef Boyardee when you figure out that's not actual like pasta.
Yeah.
Or when you drink Yoo-hoo, you don't think it's not actually chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's called chocolate drink.
Chocolate drink. The drink gets you every time. All right. Since we're on food, Do you know, Jacques? I'm pretty sure you are familiar with cottage cream. You know what that is?
Cottage cheese or cottage?
Cottage cream. Maybe I got it wrong.
No, I've heard of it. I'm not someone that's had it.
So I was talking to
Often.
somebody who lives in London right now, and they were talking about how they have tea time, and typically it's like tea, and they have like the biscuits and jam, or like I heard this thing cottage cream, and I was like, is that like cottage cheese, or is that like cream cheese? And they were just like, no, it's not. It's kind of like creamy butter before it actually becomes butter. Like it's still like a liquidy consistency. So I was wondering if you knew about that.
I can't really speak of it. I'm sorry. I know the fact that you said it with afternoon tea sounds familiar, but it's. I mean, it is a traditional thing to be able to go to somewhere like a tea room and be able to go have tea. But that's not something that I like. I never have. Sorry, guys, so loud here. Yeah, every damn 10 minutes. But I only have tea now when I go to my parents. Like I don't go on and be like, oh, I crave tea. But tea and biscuits is legit though. If you get some good biscuits and also for American listeners, like we call biscuits scones pretty much, right?
Scones.
Yeah. And biscuits are what you guys call cookies. But biscuits aren't cookies in the sense that they're usually a bit different. They don't always have to have like chocolate in them. They're usually kind of more dry.
Like Popeye's chicken, Popeye's biscuits?
No, those are scones. That's what I'm saying.
No, they're not. They're biscuits.
Is there a legit difference between? Is there like a legit difference between scones and biscuits besides like where you make it? Like, is there?
They're
like,
pretty much. I think biscuits at
biscuits are made with love.
Yeah, maybe. No, they tend to have some garlic seasoning in them, I feel. And then scones are typically don't really have that sort of seasoning like garlic or anything.
Oh, David's on it. David's on the case. But while David, you got it?
It says a scone should not flake like a biscuit. That's all it says. It says a scone is drier than a biscuit.
That doesn't really answer our question, but
scones are intended to be consumed with a hot beverage of your choice, with clotted cream or butter or jam.
There you go.
That's
clotted
it.
Cream.
Clotted cream. Clotted cream.
We didn't get that between us. God, don't worry. I got absolutely embarrassed by a client when there's this very good plant-based spot by Sports Club Le Botaniste, and I didn't put the two together that it's, botanical, plant-based. And I was like, oh, I wonder what it means. And they're like, aren't you French? And I was like, oh, God, that's a blunt moment right there.
Oh, that's like botanical in French?
Yeah, like botanical meaning plant-based.
Even I got
it's that. Guys, you should go out. You should go and check. It feels French style. It's really good. It's more appropriate for winter, I feel. It's kind of, I wouldn't say comfort food, but it's that kind of style. It's pretty good though. And Angel's right by the club. But David, I think it's not far for you either.
What's it called again?
Le Botaniste, and it's on 67th and Amsterdam, Columbus. Sorry.
The Botanist.
Le Botaniste.
Okay.
The Botanist. I'm putting the French accent on because I'm trying to justify that I still have some Frenchness in me. Yeah,
he's got the French in him.
I got the funniest thing, guys, is when I've gone back to France a couple of times, and when someone tells me something, and they look at me like I'm crazy because I don't know what the word is. That the best one was when I was at the airport, and I was flying. I think it was I was gonna see family and meet my dad the day after in Paris, but I flew into the airport in Paris, Charles de Gaulle, and this woman, I was asking for the tickets for the train. She's like, oh, le guichet. And the guichet is pretty much ticket office. But I've never heard that word in my 20 years of existence of learning the language. She looks at me like I'm just crazy because I can speak it and understand it enough, but there's that odd word. I don't know if it's you guys, if you have a dialect that's maybe from like Colombian or Peruvian, that there's like one or two of those words that like, oh, you maybe never heard of, but I'm sure you would probably get it to some extent. But so some of those things throw me off, but it's what happens when I don't speak of anyone anymore. Like if I was with my father, every day I would speak to him every day, but I'm not speaking to him every single day. So it's kind of hard to, the only ones that speak French here are America are the Haitians. So Creole. And that's not exactly.
I saw Kelly the other day too. I said, "Ça passe." He was like, "The fuck?" Who said that?
So,
Yeah.
but Angel, I didn't feel like I was about to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna ask another silly
cream.
question.
Go for it.
On the clotted cream tip. So I'm thinking cultural differences in New York. When an employer wants to give their employees a high five, they say, we're going to give you guys pizza, right? It's like pizza day. Yeah, congratulations for doing overtime or whatever the hell it is. And then sometimes in the mornings you have like bagels that get delivered or whatever. There's more office people, not really the people on the ground floor, but that's another topic for another day. But if you're overseas or if you're somewhere else, like, do you have experience with the same thing? Is it kind of like the same style, or is it just like pizza and bagels because we're in New York, and then like over in England it might be biscuits or scones or whatever it is?
Yeah, I think you could have things where people bring crisps and snacks. I think, tell you the truth, the only job I really did, at least when I was in the UK, was hospitality. So there was always food, and it was, the funny thing was, there was you would think that when you're in a hotel that you'd always have good food, but for the guests are the ones that take priority, so they usually have the better quality food. And I used to joke with one of the chefs, and I was like, can you stop making chips, which we guys call fries? I was like, with every damn meal, like every meal was like this and chips. Like, I know that if you've never had, say, fish and chips, well, it's not a common thing because we live in the States, that sounds appealing. But it's like if you had fries and burger or fries and this every single night, you would be going AWOL. You'd be going crazy. You're like, I don't want to have this anymore. So we kind of like joke with them a little bit. But actually, towards the end, I started bringing my own food because the other thing was, working in the hospitality industry was you couldn't always guarantee if you're going to get food, not based on there being food available, but you having the time. Because if you're working a wedding, and I primarily was behind the bar, if the bar is busy, you don't get a break. That's just how it is. Like, and that's why when people talk about weddings and this and that, and if there was depending on what the frame group was, or again, traditionally Irish weddings were usually a lot of drinking, just was. And so if it's an Irish wedding and it was on New Year's, RIP, man, like, you weren't getting a break. New Year's Eve, Irish, you had to have a much Guinness, like kegs Guinness ready and whatever. But so that being said, towards the end, I just thought, no, I need a 15-minute break. Like, the laws, they weren't, and this, look, like, it's only like with floor shifts, for example, as well. Like, knowing what you're entitled to, right? Or any line of work, right? Once you know it's the same when I worked in retail. They all 4-hour shifts were typically entitled to a 15-minute break, but if you didn't tell them, you should know. If they want, they can ask for it, but if they're not aware of the information, it's not a resource to them to be able to go and use, if that makes sense, right? Same when I was in the hospitality industry. I didn't know I was entitled to a break, or I should have gotten a break. 10, 15 years ago, those rules were a little looser. Now they're a lot more strict. So there was that then as well. But towards the end of my tenure, I was making sure I'd have my own meals. But going back to your question, sorry, I really escalate off there.
You went into employee rights. It was kind of cool, but it's
just interesting because I went back there as a guest 2 summers ago. It was just very interesting. And I think someone also said you can tell the quality of a person by the way they treat someone in the service industry. Like, you can tell a lot about them. They don't, like, how you treat the waiter tells a lot about the other person. And I think that's very interesting. And I think that we've all been in the service industry. And I think that once you are in the service industry, you know that, like, I never get people that are just really shitty to a waiter or waitress, like, when they've just been nothing but friendly. If the food sucks, like, 2 things about that. One, the food might suck, but that's on the chef usually, right? Or for most part. And then 2, sometimes this is what happens. Sometimes the people don't know how foods or drinks should be combined. Like,
I think typically, like, people will just order some wild shit.
Yeah, like, so typically red wine is best served with red meat, right? I don't know much about it, but if someone's ordering white wine or red meat, it's not a faux pas. It's not completely forbidden, but it's typically you'd have red wine with meat, and then you'd have white wine with dessert, right? So if someone's ordering red wine with dessert and white wine with their meat, there's a possibility that it's not the best combination. But if someone's ordering it, like, you can, like, I got people always look at me funny when I order if I ever order steaks, I want it well done, just how I like it, you know. And people are like, oh, you can't enjoy the meat the way it is. So that's not like a normal thing. It's very odd. It's people who you associate someone like me like not having tasted food, for example, because you have to completely cook the meat to like it burn kind of thing. So there are people that will order food, not know what the best combinations are, and then I just don't understand it. Like just they're just trying to make money, but I also don't have time for people that are sassy, like waitresses and waiters. Like if you're sassy, leave your problems at the door. Like I won't go into it too much, but I've been on that end as well. When I know it's not the easiest job in the world, and these guys haven't been able to work for like a year because of COVID, and they're starting to come back into it. But because the tipping industry is very different here to the UK as well, I'll tell you that. The UK, you don't really get tips. Tips are included in your wages. Here they're not. So in the UK, if you got tipped, it was usually an American customer, or someone that was just very generous. But if I came home with a tip once every 10 shifts, maybe, if that. It's just how it is. Sorry, that's a rabbit hole.
All right, no pizza and bagels.
So no pizza 10 minutes later. Fucking hell, Jack. Just tell us if there's pizza and bagel. That's it. We don't care about your
That's all we want to know.
My bad. All right, that's the only one for the day.
Nah, it's all good. All right, now I got more health-related stuff, but David, you want to say something? You want to get a stab at Jack before we move along?
No. He's
sorry, guys.
He suffered enough.
7 plus. I'll tell you what. David knows Arsenal as well, right? In the 7.5 years they worked at that hotel, Arsenal hadn't won a trophy. That's how long it was. Yeah, and then the year after I left, they won. So it's kind of funny, but yeah.
So recently, I made some purchases that are around my health and wellness. So one of them is a blackout curtain. So I don't know about you guys if you mess with blackout curtains or not.
A little bit.
We got a tension rod, so it's not like we're actually hanging up on anything, but we have it in the bedroom just so it blocks out the light. And that was one. And then two, I got this stand for my laptop. It's called the Minder stand, Minder laptop stand. So it kind of just like lifts it up, and then you can like mess around with it to get the laptop facing you. And that's more for like virtuals and stuff like that. But blackout curtain number one is a game changer. I've been sleeping like a baby, like lights out, knocked out. You know those when you take a nap or something like that and you're like drooling and like you don't know what time it is or what day it is. I've been sleeping like that. So that's been really good and really helpful. And then, but because of that, I haven't been journaling because it's mad dark. It's like a fucking cave. So I take out the notebook and I put that shit right. Exactly. I put that shit back. I'm like, I can't even read what I'm writing. I'm done. But I've been sleeping like a baby. That's one. And then two, the stand is really cool because I'm able to just have it upright. And now it's on me if I want to slouch or not. Like obviously a lot of us will slouch regardless, given enough time, but it really does help to have that customizable, fixable thing. I know David got a new chair too, but
oh my God, David, can we see the chair for our viewers? You want it right now? This is gonna kill me. Get up, you gotta stand up. Come on, no one.
The light is hitting it, so you don't know what color it is yet.
Yeah, guys, if you're listening, so if David texts us and shows the chair.
There we go.
So for our listeners, David texted us the other day and he said, so guys, my parents, David, was it your dad that got it or your parents that got you the chair, right?
Let's let him tell because I'm still confused.
Go on, let's let Dave tell us.
My parents one day were checking the front door and someone left the box by accident. It was like I think FedEx or something. And then my parents are like, the fuck? This isn't ours. So they're like, oh, they'll probably come and get it back. Never did, and it was like fucking 3 months. And then they saw that it was a chair. And my dad was like, David, do you want it? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then my dad brings it to me, whatever. I'm like, cool, I see that it's a chair. I don't read the whole thing. So I'm like opening it, and I'm like, I see it. I'm like, fuck. It's like, call my dad. I'm like, oh, Dad, you know this was pink? He's like, oh, shit. He's like, it's pink for a girl? I'm like, nah, it's just pink. Like, well, do you want to keep it? He said, fuck it, keep it. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Is it comfy?
So funny.
It's okay. It's all right.
See, it's not even. If it was mad comfy, you would think
It's not.
whatever.
It's not as comfy as I thought it would be.
Yeah, because it has like the little headrest or whatever there too.
No, this headrest is great. Like I love the headrest, but the actual cushion for the chair for your butt is too narrow.
5 hours later on zone.
Does it have armrests?
Yeah, not big armrests, but armrest.
Are they adjustable? Can you lift them up?
Yeah, but not as much as you could see it.
It's a gaming chair, right?
Yeah. So like the fucking armrest like moves in and out.
Oh,
weird. And then also has a lumbar thing. Apparently it's a massage too, but I don't know how it works.
Oh god. Oh, like it's actual, like you can plug it in and it moves.
Apparently so. I think
someone out there is
missing, so I don't know.
Yeah, someone out there is really mad. They're like, "Where's my bloody pink and white chair?"
I'm sure they got it. I'm sure they got a new one. So.
Well, that's happened with someone I know when they what was it? I think they got sent weights and like, oh, I got sent the wrong ones, and they didn't ask for the ones they sent by accident back. So it was like a pair of 20 pounds. Like, no, I ordered a pair of 12 kilo or 20 kilo kettlebells, and you got a pair of 20-pound dumbbells instead. And he said, no, you sent me dumbbells. It was like he ordered a pair of kettlebells, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then his delivery is a box, I think, shaking. And he's like, what? Like, it's not a kettlebell you put together. It's like a one-piece kettlebell. So he opens it up, and it's one of those adjustable dumbbell sets with different weights. So he's like, that's not what I ordered. But they didn't ask for it back. So he's like, all right, whatever. And same with the foam roller. There was something wrong with the light, and they said, oh, I'll send you a new one. Then ask for it back. So depending,
that's pretty dope.
But that's a shame. It's okay, David.
It's okay. It's not great. I thought it was gonna be super comfy, but not.
Go review it. Like, oh, we don't have a history of your purchase, so
no, don't worry then. Forget about my review.
We can't find your order number. Why are you? Oh, that'd be funny.
I was thinking about getting a new chair because I've had this chair for years, and it was like originally a chair that I forget. I think it was like my dad got the chair from when like one warehouse was closing, and then he got like two chairs. It was like a warehouse was closing, so they just had chairs, like office chairs and things. So then we got one, and then I've been using it for like, I don't know how long, maybe like 10 years, 8-10 years.
Wow.
But it's good. It's legit, like it's sturdy. That's the thing. But I don't know if it's great for my back long term. But I guess the other argument would be you shouldn't be sitting down for that long anyway. So I was thinking about actually today I was thinking about Sean. You remember Sean Cronin? He doesn't even have chairs.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do that though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you just lay down or something like that. Like, he has the cushion, right? So you can sit down.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if my knees could do that. Bent legs. Sometimes my legs need to just be straight. But what other topics did you want to discuss or bring up? I don't think I had anything. I saw something on Squat University about. I'm seeing a lot of, shoes versus bare footwear and how. The test he was doing, I've seen this before, but if you take out the sole of your shoe, place it on the floor, get into a squat and see how your feet spread out, right? Almost like webbed feet. And then compare it to if you're in a shoe, let's say like a Nike shoe, how your feet are constricted. And he was showing how, your ankle collapses or the mobility of your ankle changes because your feet can't spread as it should. Have you guys seen or know about that? I feel David at least has. I spoke to him about it before.
Seen it. Yeah, I have the Vivo barefoot shoes.
Oh, I need to get on those. Do you like them?
Cool. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Think about that. I mean, and then the weightlifting shoes, they're not as wide, so
they're pretty narrow.
You a little bit, yeah.
My thing with Vivo barefoot, though, whenever I look on it, maybe I'm being vain, most likely. There's only two colors. It's like white and black. Can we have a bit more variety in colors? Could we have like a teal here and... am I being
teal?
Dude, I love teal. I love purple. I love green. Get me some colors.
I'm sure they have colors. You gotta look.
I gotta look.
No,
but compared to
they only
Nike, where
two.
it's 30,000 shades of... Right? It's only like two. The rest of them are like outdoor shoes. But
Yeah,
I just hopefully it's like with no ball, correct, David? You got the first series, and now they have all kinds of colors. But I'm sure when they first released
so
their
many
pair,
colors.
it was like black, white, navy, and maroon or something when they first dropped. I bet, right? So I gotta look into that. But I just thought that was interesting, and I had a client on Tuesday that staying on their heel was a real tricky thing, and I should have done this sooner. But I got the point where look, let's just take the shoes off, and so much better. The connectivity with the floor, and it's and I'm guilty of it too as well, right? Where I don't take my shoes off, but the first thing I see in the mirror or when I see it in the reflection is that like mine is the right ankle, right? That collapses underneath. And when Alex said you give me a very good cue was to claw the ground of your feet, and so you get that activation with the heel, the ball on the outside of your foot. You get those three connected parts almost clawing the floor, that activation. Because it's funny when we foam roll, we've spoken about foam rolling before, but if you foam roll your quads, your calves, your I don't think foam rolling hamstrings does anything personally. Every time I do it, I don't feel anything, but that's a different story. But when you do all those parts of tissue, well, you know, those tissue parts, how many of us, I mean, I know I've seen some of you guys with the ball underneath your foot, but it's so interesting, right? So often we can activate the tissue above the ankle joint, but not below the ankle joint. And the foot itself is almost like asleep. And then you got to load the body with a heavy bar. It's something that I have not done enough of either, but I just think it's quite an interesting take.
I massage the bottom of my feet just because it feels good.
The softball.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not it does anything, all the studies on rolling out show that you don't have a negative gain on that. Like it's more like
can't lose anything from doing it, right?
Yeah, like you could do it, great, but is it doing something? Now that comes down to whether or not you want to waste your time and roll up. So.
And you found a study a while ago, David, I want to say, that said it's most effective when you perform the exercise right after rolling, correct?
Yeah, so if you want to work on your ankle mobility, the way they said it was you roll out the ankle joint, do a couple squats, roll out the ankle joint, do a couple
Keep
squats.
Doing it, yeah.
And, back and forth. And that only then is where it showed a noticeable difference in your mobility in the ankle.
Makes sense.
So, yeah. I still roll. Team roll.
That's how you roll. That's how you roll.
I do a little bit. You know what's funny is I have the vibrating foam roller, and then someone the other day at the gym came up to me and said, "Oh, I thought that was a speaker. I was going to start playing music any second." I was like, I mean, I can put some music on, but that wasn't the case. But I feel guilty turning the vibrating mode in the apartment. Like, can you imagine if you're in the apartment, you like from the ceiling up? I feel a little bad. Yeah, I think that's a little messed up. But
you can't put it on the wood. You got to put like something underneath it.
Yeah, but even on the mat, I think you still feel the vibration. No,
Oh,
I got this Manduka mat. That shit is thick.
Really
thick as hell. But it stays to the floor. It's heavy. It probably weighs like
I don't know,
like 3 to 5 pounds or something like that.
Jesus.
And that is really good for absorbing forces. Because I use the vibrating foam roller with that, and it doesn't bounce around that much, like, because obviously you're on it. But if you just like release it, then it's just gonna go wherever. But it doesn't feel like it's actually reverberating that much. But
just fucking do it, John. What are you rolling out for like 20
minutes?
And
if you're not doing it like
sometimes I do it at night, right? Because my tendonitis has been flaring up a little bit on both knees. Sometimes I'm like, damn, one knee, no, both knees, damn. So I try I typically, if and when I have the time, try and get a massage done as well, and haven't just with time not been able to do it. So I it's not a shocker, right? When you mentioned that study about foam rolling, that they'll say it's most effective. But personally, if I've done too much knee flexion that day, like if I've been riding too much on the bike or stairs or whatever, I know for a fact when I foam roll my quads at night, it's brutal, it's painful because they've been so dominantly used that day. It helps, right? And then anything where this sounds crazy, but the other night I was watching one of the Islanders games, who are absolute wagon of a team, by the way. I'll go into that later.
Another team?
They're an absolute wagon of a team.
All
right. Okay. Should I just get into this right now real quick?
No.
Yeah. I'll get into the end though, because I'm just absolutely buzzing off this. So I was just doing glute bridge holds, and it's funny because it's sometimes the stuff you give your clients to prescribe, and I don't do enough of it myself, but I was doing this like, damn, my glutes are on fire. And I was like, all right, let's just helping with. That's why I try and communicate to people when they're getting tendonitis, and that's typically been some of the go-tos with alleviating that pain is glute activation, hamstring activation, banded work, and foam rolling, right? And just in that order, or not in that order, but in those choices of methods that help with that. And it's just, and then ultimately, like, no one wants to hear this, but sometimes the best healer is time and sleep. Make sure you sleep enough, and it is what it is. I had a client go get blood work done on Monday, and he was talking about like his cholesterol levels when he went 4 years ago were like 2 or 3 times what the average person should be.
Yeah.
Right. And healthy person. Yeah. And since he's been pretty much plant-based last 4 years, it's like way down. And it's not to say it's all meats, but he said he was predominantly doing keto foods as well, keto diets, and that's why he thinks that he was, but also taking some supplementation as well, right? So he thinks it might be that too, but just a lot cleaner diet. I don't know how I got after this, by the way, but I'm off a tangent.
Yeah, you're on a tangent. You're on a roll. All right.
But I am going to mention my islanders at the end of this. I'm not dropping.
All right, we'll save 5 minutes.
Fine.
Because David's also sleepy. I see David. His eyes.
Yeah, we won't
closing.
keep on too.
Dude, my fucking
Baby
dude, I don't know
Yoda.
what's going on. Like every time since I got them removed, I've just been like tired.
Yeah, it wipes you out, man.
Ache. Yeah.
Well, it is.
You're probably not sleeping that great either. Yeah.
It's a surgery regardless, so your body's trying to just say chill.
It's pretty cool though.
Let me
Like I could feel one tooth like shattered into a million pieces. I was like, oh shit.
You don't freak out when you hear the. Do they drill? I think no.
Nah, when you
that's a filling. Oh, that had
when
that
you
in the fall.
You smell that smoke. You know that's just your fucking enamel. That shit is wild.
Shit is fire.
I had this. The dentist.
Get grills.
You get grills.
Do they got grills in England?
Yeah, but it's not something you see every day. David comes out. I was like, "What's up, my man?"
Wait a minute. That's the other thing too. Like, and maybe David could look into this because he's fast with the web. But do you put grills on top of your teeth? Like, do you put that on top of your teeth? Or do you remove the tooth and then you put in like
you
a
put
new
them
like
on.
gold?
You put grills on over your teeth. You don't.
I see. So like the old school with the Wrigley's foil.
Yeah,
like
all that. All that's all because they have to. I saw someone get them online once, and you go to a dentist or whatever the fuck they do it.
I don't even know if it's a
They have to
dentist.
make a mold.
I mean,
they have
it's
to make a
gotta
mold
be.
of your teeth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a collab
crazy.
effort. You got to get the dentist. You got to get the jeweler. You got to get some engineer.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they have whole molding of your fucking teeth? And yeah, man.
That's not for me. That's what I'll say.
That's wild. But I did want to segue just to shout out Mel because I saw some stuff that she's been posting. Right. So
the place is open, right?
Yeah. To our listeners, if you haven't checked out one of our earlier episodes, I forgot what episode number it is.
11 or 12, I think.
Yeah, we
13.
Yeah, we had Mel on, and she was speaking about her well-wisher and how she had plans to open up a facility, and she was, thinking about doing it and trying to make the leap sometime soon. And now I think it's like fully operational, right?
They had a shoe policy, which I really liked, where they don't want outside shoes on the mat. So you can clean them, I want to say. But I like that. I think that's a really good space for it. I think we don't realize when you walk in a gym everywhere, you think the soft space is good to be doing floor exercises or bodyweight exercises, but don't forget like the shoes being. So I really like that concept. I think more places should do that. It's almost like a studio, I guess, right? When they take their shoes off at the entrance, I like that idea. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess it requires a little bit more space, and then like you would have to control the number of people that come in too, right? So it's not just like a flood of people, and then you just have all these shoes.
Yeah,
but it's cool. I think I really like that idea, being able to have that, and then also having it be controlled to that point just also shows like you can draw more attention to each person that steps in your gym or steps into your facility. I don't know if you guys were to open up your own spot, like let's not say that this is going to happen tomorrow, but would you have like one of those small studios? Would you have a warehouse gym? Would you have like a luxury club? Like if you had all the finances and all that stuff, what would you do?
Warehouse.
I like the warehouse idea too, but I also like studios too.
Nah,
I like both. I think
squat racks everywhere. Big ass fans. No AC. Oh god.
I do like that idea of I think didn't Ashley say one of our earlier guests as well, the facility she was now working in was more of a warehouse style gym.
I think so, yeah.
Right. And I always see, at least in the sports specific training side, where a team will go and train at facilities like that. I've always because I've never really experienced that or on a couple of instances I have, but that's something that actually got me into the training business to begin with. I saw the athletes, what they do in the off season, whatever. I thought, oh, that really draws me to want to train with them and be with them. And there's a couple in Toronto. There's some in Mass. It's always in neighborhoods where, let's say, the sport has a lot of talent or growth has come from. Those athletes go back to their hometown in summer, and that's why they'll train those areas. So like in hockey, for example, shout out to Toronto for our Canadian listeners. There's a lot of guys that go back there. And I find it quite interesting because it's just the exercises are very specific to their sport. I know we've spoken about to get better at your sport, just play the sport. But if these are guys that are already pretty skilled, pretty strong, there's some things they need to work on in the off season, and they're going to find their way to do it when they come in this facility. But I think about it every so often about opening. I think, how I do. For me as well, something I think about is I'd have Alfie there. I'd have him there with me all day because he's awake when I'm awake. And that's something that I make my own rules. And do you guys know that's how Dog Pound started? That Hugh Jackman brought his dog, and that's kind of where they got the name from it, because his trainer couldn't train him at the other places. He's like, all right, I'll help you open this place, whatever. And he was able to bring his dog. And I think in the LA location, they have a French bulldog that just walks around, like just cuz. I actually saw Hugh Jackman this week. Did I tell you guys that?
Yeah,
you did.
So funny. I see this dog. I see this couple, a pair of dogs. And I see this Frenchie, and I'm like, huh. I was like, I've seen that Frenchie before. And yeah, very tall. But that was kind of cool. Everyone's laughed and beat.
Hugh Jackman tall?
He's dude. I didn't realize how tall he was. Maybe it was because I don't know. But I know he's gonna be doing that show, The Music Man, I think it is, whenever Broadway opens up. But that's pretty cool. The Wolverine.
Awesome. I think that going to your point about Dog Pound and gyms opening up with dogs and not dogs, but I think that's going to be a huge, opportunity for people, for businesses. And I don't think it's only for gyms, but I think it's also for companies, because everybody and their mama got a dog during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. If you didn't get a kid, you have a dog.
You're a dog.
So it's like one of those things where I think we're going to start.
The number of adopted dogs have gone up, and so they return them.
That's what I don't like. That's what I was about to bring up. That people would bring them back. Dog is for life, man. That's why people. I thought
people are irresponsible, man. People are irresponsible.
People are like, oh, nah.
I will say this as well.
Did the Adrian. At it. Oh, nah.
I'll say this as well. That I don't know. There's some people, when I hear how they treat the dogs, in my head, I think, I don't know if you should have a dog. I think they don't.
But I think that every dog owner, if you take all the dog owners, it's like kids, right? Everybody has an opinion about how people should raise their kids. And I think the same thing goes for dogs and dog owners. There's not one dog owner that's raising their dog right now that everybody across the board is like, that person raises or I don't even know if you say raises their dog right, but lives with their dog correctly.
The only thing else, it's just if someone says, oh, I can make them wait this many hours. This is how I do it when someone tries to justify something with dogs. Put yourself in the dog's shoes. Can you wait 8 hours to go pee?
Yes.
You're going to wait. All right. So tomorrow, you're going to wait 8 hours before you go pee.
No, because I don't have to.
Yeah, that's not the point, though. You could.
All
right, so David, tomorrow.
That's what you said. You said, can you? And the answer is yes. If you have a gun pointed to your head, that's the best motivation to do anything in life.
So can we do this tomorrow? You guys text me. You wake up. You get to pee in the morning. Then you're going to pee.
I'm not going to hold my pee
for you. I'm not going to FaceTime you while I go pee.
But if I had a gun to your head and told you not to pee for 8 hours, I bet you wouldn't pee.
Not happening. I'd pee myself.
Then you'd be dead.
Then I'll be dead, but I won't be holding it in anymore.
One way or another, that pee's coming out.
That pee's coming out one way or another. I'm sorry.
No, but I get what you're saying. But obviously, everybody has an opinion about dogs, and everybody has an opinion about...
that's a fair point. That's a fair comment. Everyone's got their
kids. It's like, you shouldn't... it should be vegan dog diets. And then people are like, vegan dog diets, you're abusing your dog. And then it's like, you should walk your dog every 10 minutes. It's like, well, I walk my dog, once every 4 hours, or I walk my dog once every, like 3 times a day or 2 times a day. Right. So there's always those things.
I'll say, I will quickly say this, but there was someone I trained in the past. Damn, these sirens are killing me today. Where
maybe you should leave that building. Maybe something's going on.
Nah, it's the same building, just different unit. But there was someone I'd worked with, and they said my dog gets 3 walks a day for 10 minutes. I'll tell you this: sometimes the client would go and pee more than once in the hour. But you're telling me the dog gets 3 times the whole day? You go twice in an hour.
Well, they're gonna go pee to not work out.
I'm sorry, but you go twice in 1 hour, but someone has to hold it 3 times. I'm like, fuck that. All right, I'll stop that because I'll go into a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
I'm going to so many damn rabbit holes today. I haven't even touched the Islanders yet.
I think you're just excited. So with that said, let's just go into the Islanders. That way we can wrap up right after this.
Wrap it up. All right, so
hockey team, right?
That's right, my New York Islanders. So I'll tell you this. I listen to a lot of podcasts. More recently, a lot of them have been hockey ones. And they're playing the Boston Bruins, who were pretty good at the end of the season. Anyway, long story short, I found a stat. So let me pull it up, actually, because this makes me laugh. And I actually like seeing this underdog stuff. So a lot of the experts were saying, oh, nah, it's not going to be the Islanders. The Bruins are going to win. So let me tell you the stat. So the stat that they had was the Islanders had a 23% chance of winning the series. Just 23% chance, right? And they had a 6% chance of winning the series in 6 games. 6%. They beat them in 6 games. No one gave them a chance. Everyone said, oh, this and this and that. Everyone was shredding them. And they beat them in 6 games. And, beat them well. That being said, they're probably going to get smoked in the next round. But it's funny because we talk about things that drive your blood pressure up. And this is not healthy for me because it's not fun whilst they're playing because you're nervous about how they're going to do. And it's the further they go, the bigger the toll your blood pressure takes, I think. And Alex is like, I told her, I was like, babe, they're through the next round. She's like, shit. Because she knows the longer they go through, the longer this goes on. But yeah, I'm just buzzing. I'm tempted to go to another round, but you guys, I'll send you guys a link of them singing the national anthem at the game on Wednesday, and the singer almost stopped singing. The whole crowd was singing. It was like gives you chills just to hear the national anthem, to hear and see a venue full and full of boys. Not many masks being worn, but that's a different thing. And just super hyped of it, man. I didn't sleep that well the last 2 nights because I'm just so amped up. I'm not even a player. But I don't know what else I was going to say about it. Oh, the one funny thing was the coach of the Bruins even said, he goes, oh, they're like the New York Saints over there. So they're like, what? He called them New York Saints for implying that they play a narrative that they're fair play when they're dirty or this and that. So the crowd was just going banana, oh, New York Saints, New York. And even the New Orleans Saints were playing with it on Twitter. They're like, oh, congratulations on the Saints, go marching in. Just ripping them. So
do you say New Orleans? Is that how you
New Orleans? I say New Orleans, but in French you would say New Orleans because Orleans is an original French city. That's where my dad's from, actually, where Joan of Arc's also from. Yeah.
Joan of Arc.
I'm dead serious.
Motherfucker, he's royalty.
Dude,
you do have a castle. Did you show David the picture of the castle?
I think I did, but it's funny because the castle is a loose term for.
Nah, that shit's a castle. That's a legit castle.
Oh, maybe we'll
David,
put it.
Did you see it?
I don't remember it.
I don't think you saw it because I saw it and I was like, "That's a castle. We gotta take back that castle."
I'll send you guys a link, but it's really a big house. It's got a moat, the water around it, but
it's got a fucking moat.
Yeah. He's talking about. It's not that big. It's if you can put a moat around it, that's pretty big.
John's gonna go back home and with a fucking sword.
See, it doesn't belong to my family, and that's the joke when we went to visit it. We were thinking, oh, the Chateau de Deloger. We're thinking, damn, our ancestors had a castle. This and that. And we go and we're like, this ain't a castle. It's kind of like when people say luxury and it's got an AC unit. It means it's luxury in a hotel or something. I don't know. It's got not knockoff, but then my mum's joke was. Well, my mum's joke was, you got your ancestors probably lost it like gambling or something, right? Like that's how you probably lost it. Like, hey, I'll bet you my house and it's the castle or whatever. So it's kind of cool though. But I think my brother and my dad had traced it back to see how it passed from the people who lived there. It's still their ancestors that like originally had it in their name or whatever. So it's kind of cool and knowing the history. I'll send you guys a picture, but it's not. The reason why I say it's not a big deal is because if you guys see the castles in Scotland and some of the other ones in France that are like ginormous and they're huge, or even in Germany, the town of where is it? Nuremberg. The old city itself is within the city walls. It was all like within the castle walls or like a town, whatever. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of impressive. And I mean, if you guys ever go to Scotland, to Edinburgh, there's the castle there. That's pretty impressive. So it
sounds mad familiar. It's probably on one of these shows. One of these shows probably adapted.
My ancestors' castle.
You see, you're already saying it. That's how you know we should go. You can bet the Islanders are going to win the championship, and you could say,
I really hope they do. If they do, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I bet that the Islanders are going to win, and they'll be like, "What do you bet?"
I bet my chateau.
I bet Alfie for the castle, and then you're gonna have Alfie in the castle, and Alfie's gonna be the king of the castle. You're gonna have a picture of a portrait, an oil painting of
with his
Alfie
crown on head,
on David's seat or something like that, crown
David's
on his head in the castle, right when you enter, and that's gonna be Alfie's little crib.
Oh anyway. Man, but yeah, that's funny. I think, yeah, I hope we get to do a Euro trip at some point. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. I might have a potential opportunity to do something in Italy. I never even told you guys this. Did I? I guess I didn't. No.
It's every like 5th episode you say, "Oh, I didn't tell you guys this." And it's like something. Like the castle was one of those. That's how crazy it is.
So it's this thing that came up a couple of weeks ago, and they asked if I'd be interested in doing it, and I guess if we release this and I speak about it, I'm not going to say what it is, but it's an opportunity that might happen. And I had to make sure my US passport was done for it, right? Because I don't have my US passport is being made or produced, whatever, right now. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But I don't even have a British passport. I had to get that redone as well. So I can leave, I'll come back. So some people might be pleased with, but yeah, I can't wait to tell you guys more about it. Cool. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
We'll catch
Sorry,
you.
guys. I was just tearing this.
My man hasn't spoken to anybody all week.
Yeah, a little bit.
Apologies.
No one cares about the Islanders, and here I am. People still don't care about the Islanders, but guess what? I'm going to just clog up my feed with it. That's who I am. It's all good.
All right, we'll catch you guys later.
Peace.
Bye, guys.